A secret is only really a secret if absolutely no one knows about it other than the person keeping it. And that's the problem. The closest we can ever come to the truth is that we know someone has it, but we'll never really know what it is. So, in a way, it's kind of looking at a gift box you can never open. It could be anything. But hey, that won't stop us speculating like the little Nancy Drews we are. So, here are the top 10 closely guarded secrets withheld by one person.
Amazing!
Number 10. Harry Houdini's tricks. The name Harry Houdini is synonymous with magic tricks, and for good reason. He was, after all, the greatest illusionist and escape artist of his time, if not all time, and one of the reasons he became such a success during his lifetime is because he knew how to keep the techniques and methods to his performances all to himself. Perhaps one of his most impressive feats was the overboard box escape he performed in 1912. Here's how it went. Houdini's hands and feet were cuffed. Then he was made to go inside a relatively small wooden crate, which was then nailed shut and bound with rope. After which, they just threw him straight into New York's East River, and then miraculously, he successfully made the escape in only 57 seconds. Pure magic. Aside from that, there's also his 1906 performance, daringly named Escape from Murderer's Row, and the awe-inspiring, albeit unimaginatively titled, Belly of a Whale Escape, in which he literally had to do exactly what the name suggests. The only thing common between all of these feats was that only Harry himself knows exactly how he got out of them. It's a secret no one else knows. Number 9. Douglas Adams's Number 42. If you guys remember, we actually already know the whole meaning behind the existence of the universe, thanks to the most depressed robot in the galaxy. According to the Magdalene manservant, it's the number 42. But the problem is, no one really knows what made writer Douglas Adams choose this particular numerical value that stands as the cosmic alpha and omega. However, what only a few people know is that he did actually reveal the secret behind it during one of his interviews with Stephen Fry. And now that Mr. Adams isn't with us anymore, Stephen's the only person alive to have this universe-defining information. Let's just hope he doesn't go all Dr. Doom on us and decide to enslave us all. Number 8. Axl Earl Anson's Tree Circus. Axl Earl Anson was just a humble farmer living in Minnesota back in the early 20th century. That is, if you discount the fact that he has a certain set of skills that allowed him to freely manipulate trees so that they could grow into all amazing shapes and sizes, which then led him to open a theme park that's in every naturalist's wet dream, named the Tree Circus, that was opened in 1947. However, Axl kept the techniques he used all to himself up until the day he died, so no one since has been able to perfectly replicate the process. I'm guessing he was actually a druid. Number 7. Coral Castle. Coral Castle is one of those roadside attractions that make you feel like you've just been transported into another world. It's a whole park whose main attraction is made of rocks sculpted into different dazzling shapes and sizes. There is even a tower there, as is only appropriate for any self-respecting castle. If that doesn't seem all that impressive to you, then you should know that only one person built the entire park. His name, Edward Leedskalnin, and somewhat akin to the Pyramid Mysteries, people are still baffled as to how he was able to move all those limestone boulders without the aid of any heavy machinery, because last time I checked, boulders did tend to weigh a few tons. When asked about his methods, he simply said he understood magnetism and physics. Sure, Ed, I believe you. Number 6. The cymbals used on Led Zeppelin 4. Depending on who you ask, the band made up of Plant, Page, Bonham and Jones is either the greatest rock band to have ever existed or the most blatant plagiarists on the face of popular music. Regardless of what you think of them, there's no question that the symbols found in their fourth record's inner sleeve is a mystery no one has been able to solve. Could they be Celtic? Could they be based on the occult? Well, no one except Jimmy Page himself, who created those designs, knows what they mean, and it doesn't seem like he's about to tell us what they mean anytime soon. Number 5. Johann Besler's Perpetual Machine. In the early 18th century, entrepreneur Johann Besler claimed to have found the secret to perpetual energy. In essence, he invented a machine that had an energy source that did not have to be replaced once turned on. Imagine that, no more reliance on fossil fuels or even renewable sources. It would have been a game changer. The problem is, he immediately destroyed his inventions for fear of them being stolen. In turn, he became a controversial figure because no proof has been found about his discoveries. Number 4. Autotune. A lot of modern pop musicians owe their careers to Autotune. Without it, we wouldn't have approximately 80% of the music we have today. It's a valuable tool that can make talentless hacks sound like talentless robots, and that is so much better. However, did you know that Autotune wasn't really made for vocal manipulation? It was actually designed for seismology, to read data about land movements. Originally created by designer Andy Hildebrand as a seismic data interpreter, it was quickly adapted for musical purposes to become one of popular music's go-to tools when he found out that it could effectively analyze, detect, and alter audio pitches. To this day, only he knows the code behind Autotune. Even Antares Audio Technologies, who are the sole proprietors of the processor, have no idea how it's created. He apparently has a massive thick book detailing the code behind it, but no one's as mathematically inclined to understand the code in such depth. And it's less than likely that the secret may come out, given that it's a standard tool in record production that rakes in millions of dollars every year, without any clear competitors. Number 3. The Stradivarius. In music, the Stradivarius is the near-mythic string instrument brand, synonymous with unmatched quality, that is believed to produce a divine sound. Antonio Stradivari, the 18th century luthier who handcrafted these instruments, used a method that has since been lost to history. Some say it's the wood he used for the instruments, while others say there is some unspecified property to the Stradivarius that makes it sound better with age. No one really knows, but dear old Antonio. And it's a secret that becomes more and more elusive every day. Stradivariuses are such a rare commodity that only 650 known instruments are known to exist today. Hey, at least we have Autotune. Number 2. The Berlin Code. World War II was one of humanity's darkest chapters, and it's thanks to the brave men and women who fought against those goose-stepping Nazis that we're not living in a totalitarian world where we all have Charlie Chaplin moustaches. However, it wasn't only fought in the battlefield. World War II was also a war of information, and this is why Arne Berling is arguably one of the most valuable code breakers in history. He helped Sweden find out about Operation Barbarossa with just the use of ciphertexts and common teleprinter tapes. However, after MacGyvering his way into Nazi codes, he refused to teach the formula and his code breaking techniques to anyone else, even after the war ended. I understand, though, modern cryptographers would have had a very powerful code-breaking method had Berling decided to share it. Revealing that kind of information would have been more likely to escalate the whole information war, which may have led to more complex codes that are even harder, if not nearly impossible, to break. It was just too great of a risk. So we won't hold it against him. He's done more than enough in the service of humanity than most of us ever will. Number 1. Submarine Locations and directives. The only thing scarier than being attacked at sea is not being able to know where it's coming from, and that is precisely why the coordinates of the USA's submarines and information about them is kept close to the chest. Conversely, you just can't let equipment worth billions of dollars potentially fall into the wrong hands. It's called strategic advantage. What makes this such an imposing secret, however, is the fact that these submarines carry ICBMs, or intercontinental ballistic missiles, that contain nuclear warheads, which, as we all know, could lay waste to humanity. The American sub USS Seawolf is a perfect example of this, as you'll find minimal information about it on the internet. In fact, even its official website is inaccessible if you don't have clearance for it. The only reason we know it exists is because it docked in Norway in 2013. Otherwise, the commanding officer of Seawolf is the only person who knows where it is, even right now. Sure, a number of other naval officers would have set it an area of sea to patrol, but the commanding officer of any particular sub is likely to be the only person to know its precise location. Just imagine, somewhere out there, a submarine is lurking in the deep sea while carrying world-ending weapons. And we're here hopelessly worrying whether one of Daenerys' dragons will die in Series 7 of Game of Thrones. Meanwhile, in the UK, there's the famous sub-letters. These contain directives that Britain's Prime Minister writes after being selected into office, sent to each one of the Queen's submarine captains, which can only be opened in the event that the entire British government falls, say, from a nuclear strike. So even the commanding officer of each sub has no idea what these letters may contain, since they only have the authority to open the letter once they receive information that Britain has indeed fallen. We do, however, have some very flimsy, unverifiable information about what may be inside these letters. Some say it's an order to retaliate, presumably meaning nuke the living hell out of any of Britain's aggressors. Others, on the other hand, claim that the letter is a direct command telling each sub to find asylum in the nearest allied country from where the submarine is located. And lastly, there's even a rumour that the note contains orders for subs to just ignore their duties to the Queen and instead hand over control to whichever country they please. Whatever it is, only the Prime Minister knows as of now. So there you have it, the top 10 closely guarded secrets withheld by one person. Got any that we haven't included in this video? Let me know in the comments. I'll be interested to hear what you can come up with. If you like this video, please drop a like, and remember to subscribe. We'll be making more videos like this in the future, so it keeps you in the loop, and to make sure you'll definitely be notified, make sure to click that bell icon. Thanks for watching.